Hey rock stars, Jackie Ritz here, and I just wanted to pop on here and do a quick Facebook Live for you on some tips for really doing an awesome online class. If you haven't ever taught an online class yet, then I want to encourage you that in the future you probably will, because lots of people are not local to us, and so a lot of the times we find ourselves in a situation where we need to get on Zoom or get on the phone or Skype or do something similar to that. And so I wanted to share some of my tips on how to really do a great online class. I actually just got off the my Facebook page and I just did one. So if you wanted to watch it as soon as I'm done with this, don't leave me now, then it'll give you really just an idea of what I say during a presentation and online and how I try to make it as personal as possible. Hey, Jen. So I recently have started really taking a good look at the new TERRA pad that you can get from your back office. And so I use a lot of the stuff from this. And then I also, if I'm having a larger online class, I will have a PowerPoint, because it's much better that I have a PowerPoint than they just stare at me for 45 minutes. So I've done classes where I have the oils in front of me, and that works too. But I really find that having a PowerPoint, for me, I'm more comfortable. And if I'm more comfortable, then I feel like I do a better job at presenting. So I'm more comfortable with a PowerPoint because I can kind of hide behind it and look at my notes. I have scripts that I use, like talking points and outlines. So I'd encourage you to create your own script or outline that you can kind of briefly look at, so that if you ever do get stuck, you know what to say. So what I do is I print out my PowerPoint slides so that I know what the next slide is. So make sure that you do that. And most of this PowerPoint that I have, I actually got from doTERRA, and I customized it. I kind of made it myself. So I changed some of the slides to the top 10 oils that I like, and I added in the promotion for this month. So for instance, I registered this event, the Facebook Live that I just did, in the New Year, New You, and I printed out and put on my slide what the next 3 days of promo codes are, because they have 3 days from attending that event to actually using the New Year, New You code. So I printed out I gave them the 3 days worth that they can have. So if they do decide tomorrow or tonight or in 2 days, then they can kind of reference what that promo code is. And then I also actually have a slide, and let me see if I can show you. So I'm going to pull it up right now so you guys can see. So I also have a slide that shows them where to put the promo code in. So you'll see right here. So kind of where I fill it in is I do my presentation where I talk about why doTERRA, I talk about how to use the oils, and then I talk about the top 10 oils. And then the next thing I do is I tell them there's 3 ways to get them. The first way is retail, and I'm your friend, and I'm not going to let you do that. So let's just talk about the next one. And so the next way that you can get oils is by purchasing a $35 membership and adding in the oils that you want. And then I say the third way, which is the most common way that people actually get it, is they actually purchase a starter kit. And so by purchasing a starter kit, you're going to have that membership fee waived, and you're going to really just get more products for less. And then I transition into the close and I say, well, let me tell you how to get these 3 starter kits. And so I start with the Natural Solutions kit. And if you haven't watched my launch, then you probably have no idea that I do recommend only focusing on talking about a few kits. And so if you have never sold a Natural Solutions kit, or if your closing rate is like under 50%, then I recommend not even talking about the Natural Solutions kit until you get better at selling the other kits. So if you're good at, if your closing rate is like 70% and above, 80%, talk about the natural solutions kit. Make it brief, guys. You don't have to say, and in here is serenity and digestion and melaleuca and aroma touch and frankincense and breathe and balance and lavender. No, just say, so this is a lifestyle overview kit. Like literally, if you want to change everything, like including your self-care, your hair, your teeth routine, your supplement routine, this is the kit for you. And so I say this is $550. When you purchase this kit, you actually save a lot more. So you save like $228, and you're going to qualify for getting an extra $100 back from doTERRA. And I'll tell you how if you're interested in this kit. I don't really go into it that much if they're not interested. So, and then I say, well, the next one is the Home Essentials kit and blah, blah, blah. You guys have watched my videos on how I do that. And then the next one is a Family Essentials kit. And so after that, that's where you're going to put the promo stuff in, whatever the promo is for the month. So I always recommend you put it in like right after that. And then I say, and then I do the close. So I say, depending on, looking at these three kits, which one are you, if you were to purchase one of these kits today, which one would it be? And then this is if you're doing a one-on-one. So then I would let them talk and answer, and then I just say, would you like to purchase that today? And then I just ring them up. So if you're doing a big online class like I just did on my Facebook page, you are just kind of going through the slides. You're telling them how to order, and then you're telling them how to actually get started by putting your doTERRA link in there. So you need to get your mydoterra.com/your name, whatever your link is. And I would encourage you to make sure as soon as you're done with your Facebook Live or your online class, I would encourage you to actually put that link in there in the comment section. So, are you screen sharing? Yes. So I actually have a Mac. So if you have a Mac, you can download an application called eCamm, ECAMM. And so even right now, I'm on my computer, and it's coming through my desktop. I'm not on my phone. So it's a great way because you can screen share. So you literally just like click a button on eCamm, and eCamm is really cheap. It's not that expensive, and it's a great way. And so if you have, if you don't have a Mac, then you can probably use Zoom. Zoom has a feature where you can screen share as well, but it's a little bit more expensive, I think, than eCamm. Yeah, it's only for the Mac, Maribel. There is no, as far as I know, they don't have eCamm for a desktop. So I kind of just jumped right into this, but I wanted to share some like beginning tips. I find that having just your PowerPoint on when you start your presentation, it doesn't establish that connection with your viewers. So I really, really encourage you to put some makeup on, do your hair, put a sweatshirt over a normal t-shirt, it makes everything look nice, or a scarf, and get comfortable. So I have a light too. Let me show you guys. So I have one light that I use right there. I actually have 3 of these. And so depending on how lazy I am, I will either put 1 on or 3. So ideally, it's great to have 3 because you have 1 in front of you, you have 1 on your right and 1 on your left. And it really, really, really makes a difference. Most people can only attend in the evening because they work or they got kids and blah, blah, blah. So I really find that having online classes in the evening is the best because the attendance will be higher. So in the evenings, lighting is terrible. So I would just say, if you don't want to spend money on having a light, then really get in an area where you have great lighting on your face. So literally I present and I say hi. I say I'm Jackie Ritz. I introduce myself as an essential oil and wellness coach because people love that. And I just tell them I'm excited you're here. I state the agenda. I tell them this is going to take about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how much fun we're having. We're going to talk about you and your health goals. We're going to talk about the most popular oils and starter kits and how to get them. And I tell them, I said, you don't have to buy anything, obviously, but if you see something that you like, then at the end, I'm going to tell you guys how to get these essential oils into your fingertips or into your hands. Into your fingertips. That's kind of strange. Anyways, I'm rambling. So, and then at that point, I just tell them, just give me 1 second and I'm going to put on my PowerPoint. And so I take just a minute to flip the PowerPoint on, and then I go through my PowerPoint. So just, like I said, print out your PowerPoint so that you know what the next slide is. I also have my new Natural Solutions Tear Pad, which it gives me talking points about each oil. So like if I have a brain fart and I can't remember how to use On Guard, which that would be ridiculous, right? It happens though during classes, especially when you're nervous. So I have that so that I can remember, oh yeah, it's great for your immune system. And so if you have a smaller class, so I've really had success with smaller classes, and I'm talking like 10 people or less on a Facebook group or even on a Facebook page or even your own page if you're doing an event. I've had great success saying, before I actually get started, why don't you guys just comment and tell me what some of your top health concerns are. And so I will literally get my pen and paper, and as people are commenting, even on Facebook, even as they're commenting, I'm writing down, okay, Maribel, she just said she's not sleeping well, and I'll write sleep. Vicky just said she needs energy, so I'll write Vicky, energy. And so as I'm going through the top 10 oils, I will actually personally address Maribel and Vicky, and I'll say, oh, Vicky, like this oil's for you. You said you're having issues with energy. I love using peppermint and lemon together for that. Just put a drop of each in your hand, cup it over your face, add it to your diffuser, and all day long, it's just going to help to really boost your energy levels. And then I'll also say, you probably, if you're not having a lot of energy during the day, you're probably not sleeping well at night, because it's usually that problem. So I'll say you're also going to want to write down on your notes to use lavender. And so this is how you use lavender. I made my own PowerPoint by putting together pieces of it from what I purchased from presentterra.com. They have a PowerPoint presentation, which I absolutely use all the time and love. And it's $30 though, but it's a one-time purchase and they keep it updated. So, and it's got a lot of slides in it. I only use probably half of the slides, and then I add in my own slides. I always add in what the promotions are, and I really make sure that I talk about that. I cannot share it with you because it's actually copyrighted, and I purchased it, so you're not allowed to share it. So you guys would have to purchase it if you're interested in it. So those are just some beginning tips as you get started with doing online classes. Really, like I said, connect with them first before you hide behind the screen. And then the great thing about a PowerPoint is that you are kind of hidden behind the screen, so you can be looking down at your notes. And for me, that's really comfortable. And so I think that's pretty much it. Do you guys have any questions for me? Tina, the lights I got two come in a package from Amazon, and they're about $55 for two of them. And I would say two is enough. You really don't need three. Two is really good. You put them at you from kind of like this angle, from your right and your left. And what would that be? That would be like 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. And no, is that 2 o'clock? Yeah, that's 2 o'clock. And that is really, really, it really provides a lot of light. I only have one on me right now, and it's really dark in this room. So let me actually turn it off, and I'll show you guys what it looks like without. So this is it without. And so can you see the difference? It actually makes a huge difference having the light. So I really, really love having it. Let's see if there's any other questions. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't share the PowerPoint. It's copyrighted. You have to buy it. I am actually, yeah. So Hannah, I'm screen sharing right now on eCam. I don't know if you can screen share. Let me turn the light back on because see, I hate it without. I don't know if you can screen share on Facebook Live yet. You might be able to. I don't know. Anybody else have any other questions for me? So the name of it for the PowerPoint is Present. So Present, Terra, Terra, Present-Terra. And you can buy images as well. I usually I get my images from there because I'm too lazy to go take good pictures. So I usually buy my images from there that I put up on my website or that I make graphics out of, and it's really helpful. Okay, good question, Casey. Okay, so ideally, you want to have a way to capture their email address because that will help you follow up so much better. So I do encourage you to, if you can, capture those email addresses somehow. It is really, really hard to follow up if you don't do that. So on my Facebook Live today that I just did, I'm really going to have a hard time following up. So the only way that I can really follow up is for people who commented and showed some kind of an interest. I really, really pushed PMing me. So I said it quite a few times during the presentation. If you have any specific concerns or questions, please send me a message. I'm really, really responsive, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible on that. I said that quite a few times just so that they knew that they could send me a message about, any questions that they have. So, depending on if you can capture email addresses, then your follow-up is going to look like, I follow this kind of a format. I do. I send out the replay to anyone who didn't watch it or who signed up to watch it, usually within 4 to 8 hours. And in the replay, I'll kind of give a breakdown of what I talked about, just because people like seeing that agenda. And then I'll send a series of emails afterwards that just kind of pique their interest more. So usually it includes one is a story about one of the oils and how, people love stories. Another one is why starter kits are so amazing. And then the other one is the final one, which is like, oh, you only have one more hour to watch the replay or one more day to watch the replay, and it's going to expire. So that just kind of creates urgency so that people aren't waiting forever to do it. So that is if you're doing a webinar and you're able to capture those email addresses. Now for Facebook Live or any kind of Facebook event, it's going to be very different. So I would just encourage people I would say it a few times to send you a private message. I would also really make sure that you respond to comments right after you get off. What I usually do is I'll put the title in, I'll go live, and then right after I get done, I'll go edit that title and put in the link that they can click on to go buy the oils in the starter kit. I'll also put that in the comments as well, so people will see it either in the details or in the comments below. So that is really how it's a crapshoot with Facebook with follow-up, and it's really, really hard. You just really have to get lucky, and just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, and eventually people will look to you as the professional. So yeah, when I say that it's going to expire, I never delete it. I just say that. It's a marketing ploy. Us bloggers use it just to create urgency. And so what I usually do is I sometimes will have an incentive to enroll. And if I do have one, then that absolutely does expire. So I'll say, if you do end up, deciding to get a starter kit tonight, I'll give you a bottle of wild orange, or I'll give you a free roller bottle to help boost your energy levels. And that will expire, so I'll say, well, that deal only expires in 48 hours after the webinar. So that does. But, if I'm not doing a incentive, then I still have to create urgency. And so make sure that, you've watched some of my other videos, so make sure you're constantly relating your chat, your live to them, so that they do see a reason to watch it. So I usually will say, well, I'm not going to keep the event open for long, so if you haven't had a chance to watch it, please go make sure you watch it. Now, it is great to have an event. So what I kind of did, and it was really last minute, I would encourage better preparation than me. But what I usually do is I create an event that will get people excited and interested in my Facebook Live that's coming up. And that way, through Facebook, you're able to capture names so that you can follow up with each person who registered. And so if I have somebody who said they were going to attend my Facebook Live event and they registered for the event, then I'm able to message them and make sure that they've seen that I've posted the video and the replay is up for them to watch. I did. It's eCam, ECAMM, eCam. I don't know what the lights are called, Stacia. I'll have to look at my Amazon orders after this, but I bought it on there. Are you doing a Facebook Live class in your business group or like a personal page? So I do it on my business page on Facebook. I often do a Facebook Live for my team where, they invite their prospects and they enroll them and follow up with them. So I do that sometimes. But I'm specifically right now referring to my own personal class that I've recently just did. I think that's all the questions. Oh, so Matt said you can screen share on Facebook from desktop. You just can't go back and forth from sharing and not sharing, which actually would work in this kind of situation because if you can actually show your face for a few minutes and then put on your PowerPoint, that would be great. But then I think what he's saying is you can't actually click back to, having you on there, which would be fine, I don't think there's any more questions. Good. I'm glad this was helpful, Rosie. So that's it. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys, and I hope that you get out there and do one for your people. So also, if you are enrolling builders who are not local to you, they can always Zoom you in. So, we've had situations where I'll enroll a builder who's not in my state, so I can't help her with the first class, which actually really creates an awesome builder, in my opinion, because they aren't so dependent on you. And they really show initiative to get out there on their own and do it. I really, really love that. A lot of the times what happens is, leaders will do a class and do another one and do another one. And then the new builder is never really so confident, in doing it. So it's really great when they can just jump right into it. It is good to have, local leaders as well. I do like having local leaders where I can help them with their first class, but after that, you're on your own. I usually don't do the whole 3-class thing. I do the 1-class thing. So, so I don't know if I answered your question or why I got off on that tangent. I can't even remember what I was answering. I really need to go to bed soon. But yeah, so I'm just joining. Did you talk about how they register? I did. So you can watch the replay on that and see how that happened. So I just remember what I was saying. So if you have a leader that you're launching in another state, they can actually get all their friends together and their top 10 oils, put their diffuser on, make some peppermint brownies, make some guacamole with cilantro, and Zoom you in through Skype or Zoom, and then you're able to kind of be there. You can do the presentation. They at the class can pass the oils around. You can do the presentation. You can help with the close, and your local leader can enroll them. And then you're able to be a part of their first class, even though you're not local to them. So, we've had that as well. So, if you are enrolling people who aren't local to you and they want to build a business, that should not be a hindrance at all. Not in this day and age. Like, it's rare that I actually have local leaders that I launch. Most of my leaders are not local to me, and the ones who are really, really go after it, makes no difference where they are because of technology these days. We can connect anywhere. So how do you sign them up at the end of the class? Great question, Jordan. So what I usually do is I say, because you can't actually just sit on there and wait for people to kind of go through the enrollment process. What I say is I'm going to go ahead and depending on what kit you want to buy, I'm going to head and drop in my link in the comments, and you can click on that and go through the process of which starter kit you want. If you come into any kind of questions that you have, send me a message. I'm available, like, as soon as this class is over. I'm going to be available for the next hour on private message. So send me a message. We can start talking back and forth. And if you have any specific questions that you want to ask me privately, you can ask me. So that's usually how I do it. And so some people will enroll, some people won't. Yeah, I need focus blend. That's totally true. Do you demo the first class differently than your regular class presentation? Nope. The local leader will have the top 10 oils, and she'll pass them around, and I'll do everything exactly the same. So that is no different than if I was sitting there with them. Tina, I think I just answered your question because Jordan asked the same thing. So that's it. Any other questions before we sign off? And I have to go tuck my kitties in. You guys seen this new stuff, right? Like, this is awesome. This is the new Empowered Success stuff. It's so pretty. I'm like in love with it. I don't know if you've had a chance to really look at it yet. But if you go to doTERRA and then Our Advocates and click on Empowered Success, you can look at the digital copies of each of these. This is beautiful. This is the build guide for you to sit down and do the build business overview. I am just so in love with these things, and it's such an amazing tool that we have at our fingertips that is going to be translated in every single language, and every single country is going to be able to have the same business tools that we have here in America, if you're in America with me. So the share program is ended. So this is the hosting overview. And this comes when somebody is interested in hosting a class for you or building a business for you. So this is really cool. So what this is this is a snapshot view of what the business looks like. I love this because this is a lot. And so you actually want to ease into the business overview with people. And so this gives them a chance to really see it. It's just actually answers the simplest questions. Like, this is what we're calling the soft launch. So if you're launching a new leader, this is the soft launch. This is the hard launch. Most people need to start right here. Okay. And so this actually gives them little bits of information for them to digest, like after they enroll with you. So what I'm doing is I just met and enrolled somebody tonight at a coffee shop who's interested in the business. And so I gave her this. And I also gave her the lifestyle overview that we'll do together, either over the phone or in person. And so this is just enough to whet their appetite to where they're not so overwhelmed. So what it does is it talks about how to invite and it's got some scripts in there. She actually is like wanting to enroll somebody tomorrow, and she just enrolled tonight and doesn't even have her oils, but it doesn't matter to her. I love it. So I gave her this because it has the scripts on how to actually invite people. It's got a little bit of sampling information and how to share. So how to share your story, how to share an oil experience, how to share online, how to share a sample. It shows some of the things that you can get through your back office that we had no idea, right, when we started. It's got also, what I really love is it's got hosting, presentation, and what their part is. And so this is like just enough. It has a little bit about the comp plan on the back, but it has the short-term income, which really is the most important part to new people. The long-term income is like the really confusing part. So it's like the power of 3, the unilevel, the leadership bonuses. People have no idea what you're talking about when you share all of that at once. So what we do is we say to new leaders, we say there's 2 ways to make money in doTERRA. There's short-term income and there's long-term income. And the most important part to you right now is the short-term income. And this is how you're going to have make that short-term income. So this is a guide that really helps create those little victories and says that, you know, I can do this, or this is working. And so I love this. And what's really cool is these are separate guides. So if you have somebody who's like a square and wants to know it all, then you can give them the build guide. You know, if you have somebody who's just kind of like easing into this, then you give them the share guide. And then when they're ready, you do the business overview with them. So yes, you can order these through your LRP, Katie. You just go to doTERRA.com, our advocates and empowered success. There's actually going to be a whole boot camp that's sent out. I just sat through a 5-hour one, which was unbelievable. It was so good. Laura Jacobs talked, Natalie Goddard, Justin Harrison, and it was just a really, really good boot camp on how to use these tools that we have. So I'm a huge advocate for them and I love them. How do you get over the I don't like seeing myself live feeling? It's definitely not just you. I hated myself on video for the longest time. And you just have to get to a point, like you'll get braver and braver as you go along. Most people don't believe it when I tell them I'm an introvert and I really hate being on camera. But you just have to get over it. And I think the more that you do it and you get comfortable, I would say do it with like a few of your really close family members and friends just to practice. Practicing really is great. So I usually tell people, you know, practice on a few people first and you might end up enrolling them. So practice on your mom or practice on your brother or your sister. Practice on your best friend. And even if they live next door, ask them, hey, can you meet me on Skype so that I can practice just being on camera? And record it, okay? Because you'll be able to watch your recording and you'll be able to change a lot of the things that you say or that you notice that you say. In my early videos, I'm almost disgusted watching them. I say so many times, like tons. I still feel like I say it a lot now, but I've worked on it a lot, and that's because I've watched my videos and I've noticed like some of the things that I do or I say, or I touch my hair, or I put my finger in my ear, and I shouldn't really be doing that. Or you pick your nose. So it'll help you if you rewatch your videos and really get comfortable doing them on camera. Yeah, the more you do it, you get comfortable. So the boot camp, I believe, is going to be available to everybody, Kim. They are like just working on putting it on doTERRA.com, and they're also going to have a training PowerPoint on doTERRA.com that you can go through with yourself and your team, or just yourself, whatever you want to do. And it's wonderful. It's a really, really great boot camp. I do recommend, you know, setting that time apart or breaking it up into an hour a day until you can get it done. It really explains it. Like, for instance, on the new TerraPad that they have, I had no idea that there was a method to this page, but there is. I thought it was just a pretty picture, and I really didn't feel like it was necessary. But it is, because this is the be prepared for anything oils. These are the self-care stuff that we have, and these are the daily habits that people can start to use. So I didn't know that, and there's a lot of little things in there that we don't know why they're there. So I would very much encourage you guys to watch the boot camp when it's available. You're very, very welcome. So thanks for joining me on this evening, and I hope that you guys have a fantabulous week, and I'll see you guys on the next Facebook Live. Bye.